7 and 8.
Okay, we are on record for our first dispositional review as it relates to the father, as it's been docketed. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Nicole Underwood, lawyer, guardian ad litem.
Ms. Saja Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Jones.
Amanda Jones from the department.
Michael McFarland, representing father. Just introduced Brandon Hurd, father. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you all for your patience. I know we're getting started a little bit later than scheduled. Any opening comments before we go to our LGAL for her report?
We have received and reviewed the case service plan and the court report.
Okay.
I have nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Underwood, your report whenever you're ready.
Your Honor, would it be possible for me to provide my report recommendation at the end of the hearing today?
Sure.
All right. I'd just like to hear the testimony and the comments from the caseworkers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ms. Thomas, testimony today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll ask Ms. Jones to be sworn in to provide her report.
All right, Ms. Jones, come on up to our witness stand.
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Okay, just a quick reminder to everyone, we are on YouTube this afternoon, so if we can avoid using the children's names, that would be great.
Thank you. Ms. Jones, as it relates to your court report, are there any updates or modifications that need to be made to it?
No, there is not.
Okay. And then were there any other documents that you've provided to the parties or any of the parties outside of that court packet?
No, there was not.
Okay. As it relates to the children's permanency goal, they are still with their non-respondent mother, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And is the goal for Mr. Hurd to be reunified with the family?
Yes.
What is the current risk of harm in allowing that to happen?
Currently, if he does have unsupervised visits, there could be a risk of harm of possible further abuse of the children.
Have there been any services started to address the issues that caused this case to open?
There has been a referral made to Brene Moore to start therapeutic visits. It was only made recently because of the no contact order. She did contact me earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, stating that she's going to reach out to the family to schedule the first appointment.
Okay. Can you please remind me if these children have had, I think one might be too young, but do we have any trauma assessments?
We do not at this time.
Okay. So, based on the petition, is a trauma assessment warranted at this time?
At this time, the victim might, we can certainly refer her to a trauma assessment, but at this time, they're not showing any trauma-related symptoms or anything.
Okay. Are the children receiving any of their own therapeutic interventions?
At this time, they are not.
Based on your report, it appears that Mr. Hurd is no longer receiving individual counseling, but has or should be still getting specialized counseling through probation. Can you just kind of clarify that for the record?
Yep, through his probation, he was ordered to do sex offender services, and I reached out to his probation officer last week, and he was going to put that referral in to start those services as well.
Okay. Does Ms. Moore have all of the background information, like the investigation report or any of the court reports, anything that can help her understand this family a little more?
I have not provided those with her. I did ask her if she needed any other information than just the basic that I provided her regarding how we got here. And she does know that there's court intervention. She has not stated that she wanted those, but I can provide those to her as needed.
Okay. And then just some of the Has Mr. Hurd been able to obtain unemployment yet?
No, he has not.
Okay. And financially, how is he able to support himself, or is that an area that you're assisting him with?
I'm assisting him with that, and he's also been applying for employment and just has not had very good luck finding it yet.
Okay. And as it relates to the family and as a whole, do you feel that this family needs any other additional supports other than the ones that are currently in place?
At this time, I do not.
Okay. And then as it relates to parenting time, I know that you mentioned there's the referral for therapeutic visits with Ms. Moore, but have there been any supervised parenting times since we were in court last?
Yes, there has. Recently, I think it was the second week of December is when the no contact order was dismissed. At that time, I did safety plan with supervised visits for our new court order that came out in December, but they have been doing supervised visits with either the mom or the paternal grandparents.
And have you done any pop-ins just to make sure that everything is going well?
No, I have not.
Wait, this is serious. The court says the kids could be at risk if the father gets unsupervised access. He has no job, hasn't started keep therapy yet, and the kids aren't even in counseling. Visits are only supervised for now, but the plan is reunification. The big question, are they moving too fast? What do you think? Like and subscribe for more.
Are there any reports from anyone that there might be any concerns or any change in the children's behaviors?
I have not had anybody reach out to me or state that there is. I've talked to mom and she did not state that there was any problems.
Okay. And generally, would you summarize Mr. Hurd's compliance with this case service plan as fairly well this review period?
Yes.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, the sex offender services that probation will order, will that kind of give any information about future risks or any other services or plans that we could put into place to help safeguard the children and support the family?
Yes, it will.
Okay. And has Mr. Hurd been compliant in providing any releases of information that you've asked for?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like the court to know from your report or your knowledge of the case?
No, there's nothing else.
Okay, thank you. With that, Your Honor, I have no further questions of Ms. Jones. Would ask the court to accept the court packet. And just as a note, included are some received letters regarding the ICWA inquiries for the children.
Objections?
No objection.
Thank you. They are received. Questions, Mr. McFarland?
I do not.
Ms. Underwood?
Is there any structure to these supervised parenting times?
As in, what do you mean?
Days of the week, times of day, or is it just he could come over at any time as long as it's supervised?
Right now, there is no structure or setup plan like that, just that it is supervised. I know that the kids are in school during the day, and they do have dance afterwards. So it would just be around those schedules that they have.
Do you think it's appropriate to go from no contact to daily supervised contact without intervention from therapeutic parenting time services?
I feel it's not appropriate, but in this scenario, this is, what we had to kind of do because we couldn't start the therapeutic as soon as we wanted because of the no contact order. At this time, we are going to start the therapeutic, and I can put parameters on how many days or how many hours that he does see the children.
Okay, all right. I've got to interrupt. So the court order directed specifically that the parenting time was only at the discretion of the therapist for the children, and that DHS was asked to do a recommendation on parenting time. It was never my intention to simply allow the non-respondent parent that's still planning with the offending parent to simply supervise and uncapped amount of time with these children. That does not seem like a safe alternative. So to jump on some of the questions that I'm assuming Ms. Underwood is going to be asking, what safety provisions are in place in order to prevent the scenario from reoccurring that brought us into court in the first place under these parenting time plans?
So the safety plan that we have is they are supervised and they are at grandma's house. I know that. I don't know, I think there's been 1 or 2 at the apartment, but that's the only safety measures that we had.
Ms. Underwood, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I believe there was a stip-in order put into place in order to accommodate some supervised time for the holidays. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So at this point, would the department be willing to set some stricter parameters and guidelines around this parenting time until therapeutic time can begin?
Yes.
Has it been considered in the case services plan that Mr. Hurd not be consuming alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, I did look at it, but I must have not seen that provision. Do you know if there's any restrictions around Mr. Hurd being near or around schools?
There is not any restrictions. I did ask that because of the location of their current residence.
Would it be appropriate for Mr. Hurd to be picking the children up from school with non-respondent mother?
If he is the ride provided to the grandparents, I don't foresee that being a problem. But as long as they're just going to the grandparents' home, that should be fine.
It was included in the stipulation in order to not have overnight parenting time, even if supervised. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Wait, this is wild. The court just revealed there's no real structure to the parenting time, meaning visits could happen almost any time with supervision. The judge immediately called it unsafe and started tightening rules like no overnights and stricter limits. How did this even happen? Like and subscribe for more.
I have no further questions.
Okay. Are the children seeing a counselor or have they been referred to a parenting time recommendation?
Yep, I put a referral in for Brene Moore. She was going to reach out to the family and make the first appointment with them. I have asked mom to seek out counseling. She was looking into counseling services and she was having a hard time finding places that took her insurance. So I was working with her on finding one of those, and we were going to start Brene Moore and see if she could help with the counseling as well.
When was that referral made?
That referral made was last week. And Brene reached out to me on Monday and said that she received it and that she was going to call the family.
Okay. Can you help me understand why that just happened last week when our last court hearing was in October and there was an order for that referral to be made and for the parenting time to be at the discretion of a therapeutic parenting time supervisor?
Due to the no contact order. Could start therapeutic visitations with the victim and Brandon when the no contact order was still intact.
Okay, and that was, you said that was mid-December?
Yep, it was a week, 2 weeks before Christmas that it got dismissed.
That helps me, thank you. All right, redirect Ms. Thomas.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Recross.
No, you are.
Ms. Underwood, any additional questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you. But I guess, were there issues with the insurance for the mother to receive therapy or for the children to receive therapy?
For the children.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Thank you for your testimony. You may return to your seat. Thank you. Any other witnesses, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I'd leave it to Mr. McFarland if his client would like to testify or give us any
Not
updates
today.
from his perspective.
Nope.
Okay. Any testimony from any other witnesses, Mr. McFarland, Ms. Underwood?
Not here.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Well, comments in closing then, beginning with Ms. Thomas.
Your Honor, I think that there's been a little bit of misunderstanding as to the construction or interpretation of that stipulated order that we put in right before the holidays. I think that this hearing has really helped the department understand that it was not intended to be a free-for-all, and I hope that the family can understand that. However, I don't know that we can unring the bell with how this has transpired, and the children seeing their father. I look to the court and to the LJL to make a recommendation and how to proceed forward, considering that the children were kind of thrown into that parenting time with Mr. Hurd without any structure. However, it seems promising that Mr. Hurd is complying with the majority of his case service plan. He's continuing to look for employment. He has housing. He has natural supports, and he is complying with probation. Obviously, he's on probation for the 5 years, and that will be monitored. And I would trust that Ms. Jones will keep in contact with that probation officer to ensure that the risks of harm are being continuously mitigated through those services. So we just ask for another 90-day review. And as it relates to parenting time, again, I would ask the court to provide us guidance and take into consideration what the LJL is recommending. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland.
Well, it's true my client is in compliance with probation and with this case. I understand the court's concern regarding the parenting time, but my concern, we've heard testimony that the kids have not been affected. There doesn't appear to be any signs of trauma. I haven't heard any testimony that the kids do not wish to visit their father. It sounds as though parenting time is going good according to the report. I hate to have the kids think that they did something wrong if the parenting time that's been established is all of a sudden ended. I can see concurrent parenting time with trauma-based and as it is right now by mother and the grandparents. And if a trauma issue arises, for them to be immediately adjusted and taken a look at. But I don't see where any harm has occurred to the children based upon the testimony, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland, maybe you can help me answer this question before I make my decision. It does not appear from the reports that I have here that he started any sex offender specific counseling or treatment programming. Is that accurate?
Let me check. No. Now we're waiting for the parole officer who's enrolling my client in that, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was able to meet with the children virtually yesterday as my family and I have been home with influenza going through the household. So I was able to at least meet with the children virtually yesterday after school and before extracurricular activities. The youngest child is, as usual, a ball of energy and happiness. They were both excited to show me their baby dolls that they got for Christmas and tell me about other things that they've done over the holiday break. The oldest child was excited to get back into gymnastics, which is good to see that she's still maintaining some activities outside of school. I will say that I hesitantly agreed to that stip and order for the holidays because it was my understanding that there would be some structure and parameters set by the department for parenting time, and it not just be any time in which mom's around that dad can be around or the grandparents are around that dad can be around.
Wait, this just blew up. Kids only just started counseling after months, and the judge is clearly not happy about the delays. One side says visits are going fine. The other says there was no real structure or safety limits. Now the court is asking, was this actually safe or totally uncontrolled? Like and subscribe for more.
I do not believe it's in the best interest of the children to just have parenting time whenever mom's not at work or grandparents aren't at work and dad's available. It's essentially sweeping everything that's occurred under the rug. This child is not likely showing signs of trauma because it has not been addressed at all. There's been no trauma assessment conducted. There's been no counseling for the minor child. And then there has been no reunification therapy, which I understand why, as there was a no contact order. But I believe it's really important to set a structure for parenting time and some parameters surrounding that until we can get a recommendation from Ms. Moore, and until specifically the oldest child gets into therapy and has some time to really work through what's occurred. I understand that there's been a resolution in the criminal matter and that the no contact has been lifted, but that doesn't take away the fact that some very serious things have occurred that I have no doubt have traumatized this child in some way. Even though she's presenting to be okay, it's important to ensure that she is, and that the appropriate therapy and things have been done in order to ensure that moving forward, she is safe and this does not happen again. So I would ask the court to order some established parameters or parenting time for the children and their father until we can get a solid recommendation from Ms. Moore on what's appropriate and in the best interest of the children moving forward. Thank you.
Okay. Court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's review hearing. There are certainly efforts being made towards reunification. I too have significant concerns about the parenting time that's being offered in this case. One of the children was a victim in this case. The older child was a victim. She's not in counseling. She's not had a parenting time assessment. Yes, I have all the same concerns that the guardian ad litem has expressed, as well as concerns that the court order, which asked for the children to be referred for counseling and assessment and trauma services immediately, wasn't addressed until last week. So I think that Ms. Jones has got her homework figured out for her today, and I appreciate that the department is listening and will be listening moving forward, because there needs to be some safety precautions in place to allow for the treatment and recovery of the child victim in this case, as well as an understanding by Mr. Hurd that he needs to really take these reunification efforts seriously. It's not to be in the home where these children are. He's not to be in any of the family homes where the children are. He's not to have any parenting time until he is engaged in sex offender specific treatment. And there will be no parenting time outside of the therapeutic setting for these two children until and unless Brene Moore authorizes an increase in that. I am also ordering a trauma assessment for both children. And if the younger child is too young for that, then I would expect something from the Trauma Assessment Center letting us know that, but especially for the older child, to identify those services that she may need in order to start processing her own trauma from what she was subject to. Any questions about the parenting time? Ms. Jones?
So as I'm understanding, parenting time is only to be therapeutic at the discretion of Brene Moore. Is that what I'm hearing, Your Honor?
Yes.
And after my
yes.
client has begun the sex offender classes, correct?
Yes, it's imperative that he begins those. My understanding is that last time we were here, he had taken the plea on that and has begun some individual counseling, but it's very imperative to understand that he's taking that piece of his recovery seriously and to safeguard the child.
Understood.
Okay, the children will remain placed with Felicia Hurd for now, assuming that she's able to follow those rules and regulations around parenting time and express an understanding of what needs to happen in order to keep her children safe. And we'll set a 90-day review. Leaving alone the goal of reunification at this time to see how Mr. Hurd progresses in the next 90 days. So we'll go into April for our next review.
7th through the 15th, I'm gone.
So you're back the 16th and the 17th then?
Correct? Can't believe we're talking about it.
Wait, 9 days. All right, so Ms. Underwood, you're here the last week of April. So if I set something for March 31st, you'll be available?
Let me check, Judge. I know I'm out, I
Which
believe.
week are you out?
I'm out the last week of March, but I think we're back by the 31st.
Yes, I think
Yep.
you're out the week.
Yep, I'm out the week prior.
Okay, so we'll set this for March 31st then at 1:30 p.m. Will be our second review and permanency planning hearing. And I will work on this order. I'll have it for everyone in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Misunderstanding on parenting time. I'm used to the department being a lot more cautious than I would. Some surprises here, but I think we'll be back on track shortly.
Wait, this just changed everything. The judge shut down all normal visits and said only therapeutic supervised contact is allowed. No treatment equals no parenting time, and trauma assessments are now ordered for the kids. Blown away. Everything is strictly controlled for safety. Like and subscribe for more.